Welcome to our Monday Night Team Call. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Allie Schrader. I'm the founder of And Beyond, and our team is all about, really going beyond our limits and pushing past those places where we think we can maybe get to, and just kind of living beyond ourselves. So if you don't know me again, my name is Allie. Go ahead and type in the chat box to each other throughout the entire presentation if you guys have questions for each other. But we're going to dive right into the meat of this call because I want to get to some conversation pieces at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and start my screen share. I can't see anything you guys are saying, so if you can't hear me or see me, text me. All right, so let me see here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, here we go. So tonight is all about the ins and outs of an Emerald coach and what that means, why you should prioritize it, why you should be helping your coaches reach this milestone, and pretty much anything and everything about Emerald. So for those of you that kind of want to know what's ahead, this is what the outline of our call looks like. You don't have to write this down because you're going to see it, but for those of you that marked up your syllabi, whatever the plural of syllabus is in college, this is for you. So we're going to be talking about what an Emerald coach is, just so you guys know what the basics are. A little bit about me, my story, and how I got there. How you can become an Emerald coach, and then some of the things that I would challenge you and encourage you to do yourself in order to become an Emerald coach if that is your goal. So you've probably seen this graphic float around before. This isn't anything new, but I want to go over it. Even if you know what this means like the back of your hand, kind of be thinking about how you could explain it to somebody else, okay? So an Emerald coach is you plus 2 coaches, okay? So it's when you grow your team to a team of 3, okay? There are a few perks to being an Emerald coach, you could say. One of them is earning team cycle bonus. And you know what, you guys, if you don't know what some of this stuff means, this isn't really a call about our business model. That's definitely something else for a different day. But go ahead and jot some of these terms down in your margin. And then when we're done with this call, hop on over to YouTube and see what you can teach yourself about what some of this stuff is. But team cycle bonus is really, really, really important because it's the sustainable part of our income. So right now, if you're not quite Emerald, or maybe you just recently became Emerald, or you're working your way toward Diamond, wherever you are, it's possible that your commission checks are the biggest part of your paycheck. And that's going to be true for a little bit, but not for long, and definitely not forever. So your team cycle bonus is really the sustainable income part of this business. So when you become an Emerald coach, you start earning this bonus every single week. And I can tell you that I have gotten a paycheck every single week since I've been an Emerald coach. You also get something that is called carryover volume. Again, if this doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. Ask your upline later. But volume is basically converted into income in this business, okay? So the carryover piece of it is pretty cool because if you don't use something, if you don't use X amount of volume in a particular week to contribute to your team cycle bonus, again, I'm throwing more jargon at you, you basically keep it in a bank and it rolls over to next week, so you never really lose it, which is awesome. Those of you that are more driven by, maybe the income piece isn't really big for you, but you just want to help more people, then Emerald is your goal because you become eligible for customer leads and for Success Club leads. Okay, more jargon. What does that mean? Leads are the people that Beachbody gives to you as free customers. So think of it this way. When somebody orders a challenge pack or Shakeology or whatever from the website, or maybe they're watching an infomercial late at night, they don't know a coach and they don't have a coach, Beachbody does not want them to go through their program by themselves, so they assign them to a coach. Okay, so once you hit Emerald, Beachbody starts giving you what these are called leads, okay? They give you customer leads or Success Club leads, and you can earn both. But you can't do that until you become an Emerald coach. We're going to go ahead and move on. I'm just going to real quick background on how I got there and what that meant for me. So I became an Emerald when my husband became a coach and a friend became a coach. Okay, so my husband had no intention of working the business, but it was a strategy that my coach taught to me, and I'm more than willing to teach to you if this is something that would be applicable to you. to reach Emerald if you're in this business for the longevity piece. Okay. Again, something we can chat about a little bit later, but he didn't always necessarily believe in Beachbody or like the whole business thing, but he always believed in me, and I knew that this was kind of an important piece. So he signed up as a coach, and when he did that, he got a challenge pack for the program that I wanted to do next, along with single servings of Shakeology. And I ended up using those single servings to sell to people who wanted to try Shakeology but didn't want a whole month of it or something like that. And then my friend was my other coach that signed up, and we became a baby team of 3. And that is how I became Emerald. Why I became Emerald is I just made a decision to go for it, you guys. It took me about 5 weeks or so to do so. In the short time that I was a coach, I followed other coaches. I saw that it was important. I knew it was emphasized on team calls. I went to a Super Saturday, 5 days after I signed up as a coach or something, and they talked about it. So even though I didn't really know that it was as important as it was, I knew that it's what I wanted because I was in this for the long run. My upline also told me that Emerald is important, like I'm telling you that it's important, and I trusted her. So that was another reason that I wanted to get to Emerald. And then most importantly, even though I didn't fully grasp what it meant for the business part of it, I did understand some of the perks, and I wanted them. I wanted that team cycle bonus that every month, and it starts out at $14, but it quickly compounds to hundreds, if not more. I wanted more customers because, of course, who doesn't want to help more people? That's why we're in this. If you think about like the perks of being an Emerald, I guess could kind of be compared to like, why do you sign up for those grocery card perks or whatever? Like you spend X amount of dollars and you get like 10 cents off gas or whatever, or like a My Panera card, you go there X amount of times and you get it. It's like that. It's like I knew what the perks of those were, even if I didn't know how it worked, and that was important to me. So kind of think of it like that. Even if you don't fully understand everything that we're chatting about here and you have a lot of questions, just know that this is an important step, and in my opinion, the most important step, because everyone has to do it. Moving on to how you can become an Emerald. So these are 7 really important steps. I would strongly encourage you to jot them down or take a screenshot or whatever works best for you. But this is where you have to be proof of the product all the time or every day. Okay, so not just on the weekdays or when you're having a good day, but let people know that you're feeling stronger because you're working out, that Shaco is really cutting your cravings. Those kinds of things. You have to not only be proof that the products work, but share that they're also working for you in whatever way you want to do that. And then another thing that you really need to be, another way to get to Emerald is to be sure that your challengers are being supported and that you are creating the absolute best environment every single month in your accountability groups, okay? Make sure that you're either hosting or co-hosting or being a part of one every single month, that your customers always know that they can jump in one. And then there's also something new that corporate implemented last fall called the Vital Process. Our team call 2 weeks ago was on that, so you can go back and listen to the recording if you want to fresh up on the Vital Process. But basically what it means is that, or the best way to build your team is by having your future coaches be a customer in a challenge group first, because they're seeing this great environment, they are getting results, and in turn want to share that with other people. So if corporate has done all this research and looked at all this data and is telling us that challenge groups are the way to build your team, then if you want to become an Emerald coach, you should definitely be making sure that you are providing the absolute best environment that you can for your challengers or your accountability group or whatever you happen to call it. All right, read personal development. You guys are probably like, Allie, this is nothing new. Like, you're not giving me anything mind-blowing here. I'm not. This is all stuff that you've maybe probably heard, especially personal development. And here's why this is so important if you want to become an Emerald coach. So a lot of times when we set our mind to something or, pick a goal or whatever the case might be, we're super excited about it. And then, we go to start executing it and our mind starts to play tricks on us. Like, well, maybe you can just do this in March instead. Or, well, that one person said that I was being kind of annoying on Facebook, so maybe I won't post today or whatever. And all that stuff is not true. And you need personal development, reading it, listening to it, whatever your favorite form is, to tell you or to put your mind in the right place. Okay, so personal development is so important. Number 4, talk about your team, okay? Especially if you're a newer coach, not everybody knows that they can join you, okay? They think you're part of this new club and it's all fun and you post selfies and motivational quotes and like that's all cool, but they don't know that they can do it too, because a lot of times we don't really talk about it. So this is something that when you do talk about this, you need to be sure that you're using normal terms, not Beachbody lingo, because it's not going to mean anything to somebody who's not in the community. And there's really no scripts on this because this is so personal to you. What do you like about the team? What is your team made up of? Maybe you're a teacher and you've noticed there's a lot of other teachers on the team and you've become friends with them, or maybe, whatever the case might be. Maybe you guys are all dog lovers and, it's another community where you get to talk about your dog all the time. But let people know what your team is like and be sharing about it. Not necessarily always in an invite form, but just letting them know that this is something that is for them too, and that you can just kind of talk about being a coach. Next, moving on to inviting people to join your team. I'm not going to dwell on this because you guys know this, but I would challenge yourself weekly that you need to be reaching out more than just a public post to invite people privately to join your team. Next, make sure that you show up for anything that your upline has to offer. So you guys are all here. This really isn't applicable to you, but when your upline offers a webinar or a coaching webinar or a sneak peek, by the way, there's one that starts on Wednesday, make sure that you are showing up for those and you're inviting to those. And, it's really a useful tool for you to grow your team, not just for your upline to grow their team. So make sure that you pop in for those. And you know what, even if it's not with somebody to grow your team, you can just pop in so that you can learn and see how to run your own someday, okay? Lastly, we're going to talk a little bit more about this on the next slide, but make a plan and show some enthusiasm. Be excited about moving your business forward and what it means. And then, like I said, just make a plan, stick to it, decide, and do it. The last thing that I want to touch on here is we talk about Success Club a lot because it is awesome. It's a form of measurement that corporate has given us so that we can measure how well we're doing in our business. And so if you guys know who Nicolette Anderson is, she's an elite coach on Dynasty United this year. And she very openly talks about how she never talks about Emerald with her team, but she really only emphasizes Success Club because she knows anyone who will earn Success Club will become an Emerald. It's inevitable. Moving on to these are ways that you can challenge yourself to become an Emerald coach. Okay, so set a deadline. This does not work for everybody. Some people are not motivated by dates, and if you know that about yourself, then maybe this is not the best option for you. But let me start by saying I have missed every single goal date I've ever set for myself. Okay, I have failed, I guess you could say. I've never made a goal deadline date on time ever, but that's okay because every single time I push for that goal, inevitably I made my business stronger. So just because you set a goal of February 28th and maybe you don't become an Emerald by February 28th doesn't mean that all the work you're doing between now and February 28th isn't catapulting your business forward. I just used a double negative. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't like it when people do that, but you know what I mean. So it's not so much like the date that's important. I mean, it is important. You should try to reach it. But the point is anything you do between now and that date is really going to help your business. Next are trackers. If you're not using a tracker, I would strongly encourage you to reach out to a teammate or your coach and ask them for a recommendation. We always hear, Michael Phelps would never get in the pool without a clock because that he wouldn't know how he was doing, right? Okay, so trackers are like that. They measure, what we measure are things that we can improve upon, okay? So pick a tracker. Doesn't have to be fancy. It can be on the back of a receipt if you want to keep it that casual, or it can be like this really well thought out Excel spreadsheet, whatever. But go ahead and start posting them, whether it's in your team page or sending it to your upline. And that's honestly just for accountability's sake. You might not hear back from them. You might not get any feedback on it, but you know that you are filling out the tracker, and because you know you're going to send it to them, it makes you do it, and it makes you track, and tracking is important. Success pods. Okay, so Corey came up with this great idea about forming little success pods if you guys want to be in them. Basically what this means is it's going to be a group of just a couple of people that are all pushing for a similar goal. This is not a marriage. It doesn't have to be like a lifelong partnership, I guess you could say, but I think it's really, really great to be surrounded by groups of people who are working toward the same thing that you are working toward, okay? So if you are on this call and you wanna hop in one of those, we're gonna go ahead and kind of pair you guys up if it's something that you want. Go ahead and research or ask your coach about this fossil placement strategy. See if that's something for you. I kind of briefly mentioned that is something that I did choose to do. But it's kind of, situational. So go ahead and just talk to your upline about that or see what you can find out about it. And then another thing that you can do that is very, very helpful, like we have every single tool we need to succeed in all of our team stuff aside, like corporate gives us so many tools. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys really quickly where the modules are in the Coach Online office. So give me just a second to transition screens. One moment here. Okay, so if you are at your home page, 1 second. Okay, home page. You're going to go over here to news and training, and then hover over and click on training. Okay, and then look at this. You have this huge library of any rank that you could possibly want to be, and what you should do to get there. So if you're interested in being Emerald, you're going to click on this Emerald Ruby, learn more, and look at all of this stuff that they have for you. They want you to do this. There's a whole checklist. Know this. These are the things that you should know if you want to be an Emerald coach. Learn how to do these things. There's PDFs, there's videos, there's like sources galore. And then what it means for you on the leadership ladder, what those benchmarks are. So that is all that I have for you tonight. I kind of want to open up the rest of this time for discussion. I know there's quite a few of you on here that are pushing Emerald, or you have coaches that are, looking to reach Emerald. So let's keep conversation about Emerald for just a little bit, and then we can go ahead and chat about anything else too. So just go ahead and unmute yourself whenever you have a question or you would like to say something.
I love your idea, Allie, of signing your husband up. Like, I've thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael's like, oh, as long as I don't have to do anything for the business. And, it kind of put on the back burner.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a strategy piece. I would only recommend doing it with somebody that you share finances with, because it is like, it's honestly for longevity's sake. Like when you open your second business, if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. But it's because basically down the road, you'll get to double dip. And if your husband or whoever is sharing that top spot with you, you're just going to like double dip. So. We can talk about it later, Randy, though.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, there's chat box. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Jackie just said definitely a scary idea at first, but if you're in it for the long haul, it's totally worth it. So, what other questions do you guys have about Emerald? Or maybe some of you that are already Emerald, if you have any other bits of advice that you want to pass along. Let's see here.
Well, I'll share a little bit about it. Well, this is Jasmine talking. So I'm not an Emerald as of right now. I'm actually a Diamond. So I have benefited from the double dipping of having my husband as one of my first coaches on my team. So whenever I hit a bonus cycle, it seems that he ends up hitting a bonus cycle. So yes, I do receive a paycheck every week, and he receives a paycheck probably once every other week when it comes to Beachbody. And it also goes to, my mom was also one of my coaches on my team, and my stepfather and my uncle was underneath her. So it's pretty much keeping it within the family, but it's also holding your family members accountable too, if you're also trying to get your spouse healthy too.
Yep, it's definitely a strategy that can benefit quite a bit of people if that's what you're looking to do within your family. Let's see. How many of you guys, let's see, have a goal of reaching Emerald in the near future? We'll say in the next, 3 to 4 weeks. Just like raise your hand. I can see all of you. I love this. Yay! Okay, good. I can see a couple of you. Okay, so that's cool. We can definitely talk about if you're interested in those pods and, just kind of closely working with other people pushing that same goal. We can get to that in a second. But I'm glad to see that you guys are on this call. Is there anything that stuck out to you that you didn't know, or I don't know, any questions that you guys have about getting there? Don't be shy. Sweet. Okay, no questions. So I will see you guys all Emerald on Thursday. Okay, while you're thinking of stuff, that's a good point. So all rank advances change on Thursdays, or Wednesday at midnight Eastern time. So if you become Emerald or sign up, 2 people and it's on a Sunday, and this is what I did. I was like, refresh. I was sitting there being like, how come it says I'm not Emerald? It's because every update happens on Wednesday night. So know that it's coming. It just takes a second, or a couple days. Sure, yeah, Dana, that's a really good point to bring up. So I'm just peeking in the chat box here. Okay, so I didn't include this stuff in here, but it's on a full graphic that I'll post for you guys. So maintaining Emerald is something that's important to talk about too. So your 2 coaches will have to stay active, and then you have to either buy or sell. Okay, so notice that "or" in there. 50 or whatever way is correct, I don't know, volume to stay an Emerald coach. So your Shakeology every month is 90. So if you get Shako every month, you're totally covered. But yeah, that's really important to share. Not to be confused with, I'm going to throw you guys in the loop here, not to be confused with Success Club, where you have to earn 90 PV of your own product on HD. Auto ship. HD is auto ship. But you guys, like I said, I'll post that graphic. Corey can post a graphic in her team page too, or anyone else that's on here. So, do you guys, I know there's a couple of you guys in here that have been Emerald for quite some time, or beyond. Do you have anything, or what, I guess, not do you have anything, what bits of advice would you add to somebody who wants to be an Emerald coach? Mackenzie or Jackie, do you guys have anything?
I guess if you're worried about signing up your spouse and I don't know, like at first we were worried about having too much Shakeology. This was before my husband turned a corner and now drinks it every day. So prior to that, when we were nervous about all of that, we just ordered the single servings, and then I sold those online through my Facebook page. I'd been sharing a lot about Shakeology and would say like, all right, I have, one of every flavors, $5 a piece. And for the most part, like I got all of my money back. So if that's one thing that you're worried about, like having too much Shakeology or spending too much money on Shakeology, that's one way to combat that. But we don't have to do that anymore because Ben drinks it now every day with me. So.
That's a really good point, Mackenzie. Thank you so much for bringing that up. One thing that I do just have to add to that is if you decide to go that route, or even if you prefer, the packets versus the bag, I would just make sure that you call them single servings, not samples. And I think it's just like a mentality thing, because people when they get a free sample, or even if they pay for a sample, I think people don't take it as seriously. So go ahead and jot that down in the margin, just to call those things single servings. I think it goes further. And yeah, like Mackenzie said to you, I think I'm in the minority on this. I always charge people for them because, again, I think people see the value of stuff they invest in. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know we probably all know 1 or 2 people that, I'm not doing it to be greedy or whatever, but I just wanted them to see the importance of it and whatnot. And, support your own business too. Like, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and, you know, charge $4 or $5 or whatever that you pay for them. But we also did the same thing in the beginning. Let's see here. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything that I missed or questions that you might have. For those of you that already are Emerald, Diamond, pushing a Diamond, wherever you fall in that line, I have another partial recording to send to you of how you can help your coaches achieve Emerald if that's something that they have expressed to you and that you in turn want to give back to them. So I'll post that in our team page as well. All right. Well, let's go ahead and any of you guys that are still interested in linking up with the Success Pods, why don't you guys just stay on for a little bit and we can kind of chat about that. Unless anyone else has any other questions first. You're welcome. All right, so if you do want to stay on right now, we can kind of go ahead and link up. I'm going to rely on Corey in the chat box a little bit here to kind of help direct some of this, since I don't know all of you guys, but I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody and seeing what this means for you too, okay? So let's see. Corey, do you have, I know you're in the chat box, do you have a like methodical way you want to go about this, or maybe just like if everyone can say hi really quickly and okay. All right, well, why don't we do this? I will just make a list of everybody that's on right now and we can send out a group message. Does that sound okay? Sweet. You guys are all so talkative. I'm going to make everyone say hi. Okay, you guys we only have 2 minutes left, so it's got to be short. But I want you to let me know what your name is and where you live, and that's it. So, Randy, you're up first, right? Because you're on the top.
What my team is and where I live?
Yeah, what your name is, where you live.
Oh, okay. Randy Sullivan, and I'm in San Diego.
Awesome. Dana.
Hi, I'm Dana McElligott, and I live in Fort Collins, Colorado.
How do you say your last name?
McElligott.
Oh, I didn't say that.
That's why I said it, because I figured people didn't know.
Cool. Okay, thanks, Dina. All right, Erica.
Hi, I'm Erica, and I'm in Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
All right. Sterling.
Hi, I'm Sterling. I live in Brookfield, Wisconsin.
All right. Samantha Hodgkin.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, kind of spreading the whole U.S. here. Corey's in New England, and Jasmine, I'm not sure she's still on.
I'm here.
Okay. She's also in
San
Diego.
Jasmine Nicole, San Diego.
All right. Okay, so I will just send a big group message to you some point before I head to bed tonight. Thanks for hopping on. Anyone who's watching the recording, if you want to get in on this too, just go ahead and shoot me a message with the illustrator, and we'll get you hooked up. You guys can kind of chat about your goals and deadlines and all that kind of stuff that'll work for you. So thanks for hopping on. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them in your team page, and we'll help you answer them. Okay. Have a good night, everybody.